got the Magnemite opened up here. I got a battery for the filament and a battery for an indicator light that comes on to show you when you need to wind the spring. The indicator light wasn't working because there was a wire that was broken that went to one of the battery connections. And when fixing that, when you turn it on, this light comes on. But once the thing spins up to speed, wrong thing, the light turns off. But if the spring gets unwound too much, the light will turn back on. You can turn the meter off or monitor the A battery. A good A battery, 1.5 volts, will put the pointer at 100. A good B battery at 90 volts will put the pointer at 100. And then of course you have your VU meter for record and play. The wire for the tape head I've removed, but it connected right here. I removed it because I didn't want the potential of possibly putting plate voltage or some other atrocity amount of voltage on the head by accident, just in case something was wrong with it, and then fry the head, because that would be, my life wouldn't be the same, let's put it that way. I did try the head out though. The head is good. If you hook the head up to an amplifier, you'll get a signal from the tape. And when I turn it on, I got some sound out through the line output, which goes to an amplifier. This old Raymer background music or public address, amplifier here. Gift from Speaker Freak 95. Signal doesn't go very far. With my signal injector, nothing at the volume control. But what I was noticing as I was going around on the tube, wanting to see where things connected and what types of tubes they were, and there's this part that moves about here for shock absorption, and well, there's a broken wire. Now I don't want to blindly hook it up to one of these connections without having a logical reason of knowing where to put it. So I'm going to look at the pinouts for each of these tubes and see how it would make sense to connect it. Again, I don't want to say put the full 90 volts onto the grid or something. Or onto the filament for that matter. That would be bad. When on, the plate supply draws 1.19 milliamps, which is pretty low. Also, if I hover my signal injector in this general area, it's picking up somewhere. Especially over here. Ooh, hello. How about that? That must be the grid. So this tube is a 1L4 and 1N7 are the filament. This one is a 1AF4 and 1N7 are the filament. So I found there's voltage on this one's filament here, but there's no voltage on this one's filament here, obviously, and this wire, broken off, clearly should go to pin 1 of that tube. I connected a wire, which now means both these tubes should get power. I turned it on and it's a lot more louder, and the volume control is responsive now. We're also getting this stupid oscillations that I never understand. I'm wondering if it's an amplifier from the head. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh yeah, you know it will. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. Yeah, that thing's amplifying like crazy. Gee whiz. Woo! Of course, I have this amplifier up all the way, so I never understand why these things make these annoying oscillations, but it's going away though. Well, that's helpful. I think I see a soldering joint that looks iffy. Let's use microphonic. Now that I put this shield back on the tube, the ringing is not happening anymore, which is good. Oh, it still does. Never mind. Must be microphonicness. The head is still disconnected from the circuit, but let's see what happens when we put it in record. Well, it seems like it's passing a signal somehow. Let's see. Passes a signal from the microphone input. But the real question is the bias oscillator operating? I checked it for bias voltage and there was nothing, but I think I can see why the oscillator wasn't working. It's hard to see without pointing to it, and it's hard to point to it with holding the camera on the other hand and not shaking it. But this connection here has come loose, literally from the tube socket itself. Hopefully I can dig onto the metal there of the tube socket where that came off. Okay, I soldered it kind of down onto the stub. Let's see if that makes it work. Gosh, it's hot in this room. Try record mode again. Oh, we'll check the AC voltage. Yeah, I know. I'm crazy. Call me all the names you want. With the wire around the tube. At the head connection, without the head connected, I have 58.5 volts AC at 45 kilohertz. It was drawing a little bit over 20 milliamps earlier. Now it's drawing only 20 milliamps. 10 gosh, I cannot talk. 10 in record. In playback, it draws less than 2.
Corporation of America.
It needs to be rewound. Try it again.
It's going to be up the oscillator, and I'm probably overdriving it because I doubt the meter's accurate with the level this high. Speaking at arm's length distance, or it's not even arm's length. Level's all the way up, speaking at arm's length distance. Level is set to 3, and I'm speaking up to the mic. It's an old Kai multi-4 with microphone. Today's date is October 24th, 2022. Let's see if I try to run the tape smoother. Let's see if the sound sounds better. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Wow, the flutter. I'm running my camera now, recording. I got you can see the meter there. I'm going to see if the steering wheel is going to stabilize the speed as is. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing record 1, 2, 3, to quote some video I saw years ago from 2007. Let's see how this comes out. I'm also curious about something. Oh, hello there. I'm starting to make a recording. I'm just wondering if there's any noticeable sound of the from the bias oscillator tube warming up when the recording starts. Stop it. Now I understand rewinding's a lot harder now. I have to move the pinch ruler back. I did a test earlier with recording and I realized I mistakenly had it plugged in the high level input. That would explain why it wasn't very sensitive. So I tried the microphone level input and there was no signal coming through at all. Well, upon looking at the input for the microphone, ground connection's right here. Signal connection goes nowhere. The wire has been cut. So I have to figure out where it was. But a strong sound, not. Okay, third take. Here's the microphone input. This is not the microphone input. This is the line level input. Some loudness. There's two wires connecting to this jack, and the two wires are broken when a microphone, or not a mic, but when anything is plugged in here, it severs a connection. And the jack plugged into here goes straight to the volume control pot with the red wire. However, when nothing is plugged into this jack, the switch here connects the white wire to the red wire. Following the white wire, we go to this capacitor. On the other side of this capacitor, it goes to an earlier stage that is skipped when you plug something in that jack. I followed the wire from that capacitor, and I found it to go to this yellow wire down in there, which goes to the plate of one of the 1AF4 tubes. When I put my signal injector on it, you hear a sound. Okay, well, I found the grid of the tube. Let's try putting the signal there. Very loud. The other side of this resistor goes to the grid. It goes to this green wire here. You might not be able to see the green wire, but it's there. Tracing the green wire goes to the other side of the selector switch, which is the record play switch. Got a text message. Nice and strong. When I touch the other side of what it connects to is right here. When it's in play mode, it's not in circuit. That's the microphone input. It currently goes to this added cable right here, which when I follow it, it's broken. But if I touch it, I imagine I'll get lots of amplification. That is probably the wire that went to a supposed jack that was in the drilled out hole on the side of the case. They had simply modified it, probably to use a balanced microphone connection. Although probably not balanced, they probably just used the connector. But who knows. So I simply have to put a shielded wire from here to here. And that will fix the mic input. Microphone input now is connected. It used to be that this little switch would short the input to ground when nothing was plugged in, but I disabled that because in the future I want to make the switched part go to a microphone transformer and an XLR jack on the hole that was on the side of the case of this. But for the time being, it'll just be this 1/4 inch.
Hello, Gangster G. What's going on? Steering wheel system in operation. Testing 1, 2, 3. Let's see if it's better or if it's still bad because of Penshor's way. Hello. I know better before yesterday, but the Penshor just bounces and bounces about. Oh gosh, it needs a new roller, really. It needs a trip to Terry Rivers and Rollers. Bye-bye. Hope you enjoyed this recording. Alright, yeah. Alright, yeah. Yes. Yeah, I know, it's great. Isn't it? Yeah, keep on going. Come on. Stop. Brake. Come on, do your thing. Come on, stop now. Stop turning. Stop. Stop turning now. You got a whole road on there. It's in stop position. Running in position. Stop position. Come on, stop turning. Stop. Stop turning. Let me just stop.
Come on. It's worse than it was yesterday. but I suspect that's related to me having to mess with the pinch roller tension, and I probably made it have too much tension. So that's probably why. But it should be better with the pinch roller sent to Terry Rubbers and Rollers, because it says pinch roller is in bad shape. Another thing that needed some attention was this belt tension right here. The belt just goes along this little roller here. The roller was out of the way, so the belt had a bit more slack and it didn't have as much friction on the take-up reel. Now the take-up reel has a bit more pull, which is good. Had an incident where the tape just started wrapping itself around the capstan, and well, the capstan can only go clockwise, so it's not like I could turn it the other direction in order to unwind it easily, so that sucked. Here you can see the mechanism. Let's see if we can see some of the mechanism's operation. Move this wire out of the way some. Don't want to get oil on me. We start it here. There's the mechanism. The capstan is turned by this little worm gear assembly here. Well, really this main vertical part is the capstan, and then the worm gear turns the speed regulator. Now you'll see here there's an electrical contact. When I stop it, the disc on the speed regulator touches the contact, and whenever it starts, the speed regulator slowly goes away from the contact. The contact is also adjustable with an adjustment provided right here. That contact is what turns this little indicator light on and off, so that when the speed starts getting a little slower, maybe not the speed getting slow, but the amount of power this has starts decreasing, this would go closer to the touching that. And when it touches that, it turns on this light. Let me turn the filament supply on and rotate this battery to get a better electrical contact on here. I don't know what's going on, because the light's not working because I'm videoing it now. The light won't turn on anymore. There it goes. So there's the light, and whenever I turn on the mechanism here, the light goes off. The light is a warning light. The idea is the light will come on whenever it's time to rewind the spring on the recorder. It's neat to watch the little mechanism operate. The design of this mechanism is very similar to the design of the mechanism in the Amplicorp. It's a very standard type of gramophone drive. This bigger gear with the angled cogs is what it's turned by the handle when you wind up the mainspring on the recorder's mechanism.
Oh, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. I'm blown away by the sheer speed at which that happens. Now, this level used to be a lot more sensitive with this weak crystal mic, but now it's very weak. Very weak, like weaker than it was before. Like, I have to speak in a substantial volume into this thing. Hello! I didn't have to speak at all before, and then I do. I don't know why it's changed so drastically on me. Hello there, and welcome to the 1950s. Back in the 1950s, life was a lot more simple, and morals were a lot higher. And you didn't have wokeism haunting every way you look. Schools were a lot better and safer for children, and life was just a whole lot better. And my friend Ben Morgan would definitely vouch for the 1950s. This because the microphone is actually working a bit better now. I'm surprised. This is the best I've had with performance with this old electro voice crystal mic. It seemed like just a little bit of a connection deal, and it's working a lot better. This recording will have a lot of flutter, however. Come on, stop now. You know you want to. Actually, it doesn't want to. It never does.
Come on. Get a little bit of help there. This recorder has personality.
Mike, it seems like...
No!
Testing. It's finally the weekend. It's October 27th, 2022, the 14-year anniversary of October 27th, 2008. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.
Removal of the steering wheel. Carefully lift the steering wheel. Grasp the steering wheel and carefully lift it from the aluminium flywheel. Not flywheel, capstan. Take said steering wheel and place it in steering wheel holding area and screw steering wheel with steering wheel retainer nut. After screwing the steering wheel, take the steering wheel retainer and screw it back onto the capstan. Yes, I'm purposely using terms like this because it's just because I'm in the mood. Magnetic Productions. With a little hint of Pokémon. Gotta catch 'em up.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. Catch them is my real test, to train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. I know it's my destiny. Oh, you're my best friend. You're a world in my demand. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em. I heart so true. I'm learning the wonder through. You teach me and I'll teach you. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Every challenge along the way, with courage I will face. I will battle every day to claim my rightful
A battery pack would be a good thing. Looking on the battery pack for this Magnemite recorder. Haven't hooked up this particular battery yet, but you know, most of these are fairly good. Some of them are a little low. Got all the batteries for free, so instead of spending who knows how much on fresh batteries, I'm just putting a bunch of old batteries together to get enough voltage to do the plate supply. Power! Power! I got some wires on these batteries now. This is the open circuit voltage, but due to the lowness of some of the batteries, it goes down to more around 90 volts when it's in record mode. 90 volts is the plate voltage this is meant to run on. You have batteries now. for the plate supply installed within the Magnemite recorder. Maybe you can see the part that moves up and down in the center of the screen for the braking system. It moves out of the way when it turns. Goes back when it stops. Not the best braking system in the world. Not very effective. It certainly isn't super effective. So we'll plug in our Electro Voice crystal mic. Straight out of the 50s. So we plug in our Electro Voice mic straight out of the 1950s. B battery's good. A battery shows voltage once you turn it on. Record level. Wait, we want to go into record mode first to do that. Alright. Hello, hello, hello. Joe took Father's shoe bench out. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hello there, hello there, hello there. We have good deflection on the VU meter. Testing 1, 2, 3. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Yes, yes, yes. Very nice indeed. We have motion of the tape. It is turning, it is recording. And the idea, as I always zoom in first before I zoom back out, is to synchronize myself with me speaking here. And hopefully we can synchronize the playback of the recording I made on this Magnemite recorder with my voice speaking into this vintage Electro Voice crystal microphone. This recorder, the Magnemite series, came out in 1952, and with the first, there was a Magnemite that didn't have a VU meter on it. I don't know if the one with the meter came out at the same time as the one without, if they all came out at the same time, or if there was like the first version and then this one or something. But anyway, but there was a whole bunch of different models available with different speeds. You tended to have to order them as one speed instead of multiple speeds, except there was a multiple speed version, but that one didn't have a VU meter on it or any of that stuff. So yeah, but anyway, the thing that looks like a steering wheel that you see spinning is an external flywheel to help stabilize the speed. If you don't use that, the flutter is extreme with the spring-driven clockwork mechanism. And even with this on here, the speed stability is not perfect, and I think a lot of that is because of the old pinch roller that's on it that has hardened rubber. Then it has a piece of rubber belt put around it, glued on there, but it still is not perfect. I think the pinch roller is contributing a lot to speed instability. This recorder was a wonderful gift from Amberola 1B on YouTube, and I cannot thank you enough, Amberola, for this beautiful recorder. Now let's switch to a different microphone, shall we? Let's stop the machine. Sometimes I have to give it a little bit of help to stop. Turn the amplifier off, and we'll change microphones. Shure SM57. Plug in this silly 1/4-inch adapter. Insult John Clark to his face by using 1/4-inch. And plug the insulting jack into the 1/4-inch plug of the Magnemite. Power on the amp. Like to check the B voltage to make sure it's still good, because all the 9-volt batteries I have on there, some of them are a little low. Set my record level. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, yes, yes. Oh boy. Yeah. Yes.
I'm recording.
Yes, I am recording. Hopefully the take-up reel keeps turning with enough force that it doesn't start spilling tape and wrapping itself around the flywheel over and over and over and over and over again. And of course, the little, by flywheel I mean capstan, and of course the capstan will only turn clockwise. Anyway, this is a beautiful recorder, and I'm using the Shure SM57 mic. Much better sound quality with this but I have to make the recording level a lot higher when I use the SM57, because the SM57 is only, I think, 150 ohm impedance, and this recorder likes a very high impedance microphone. Okay, let's turn this recording off. I want to try several mics. Turn the recording level down a little bit. I want to try out some more crystal mics with this. Crystal microphones seem to fare better on vacuum tube equipment than they do on solid state due to the high input impedance of the vacuum tube equipment, is what I'm thinking, because the lower... Anyway, I'll explain more later. Let's stop it.
Bye-bye.
Amplifier turned off. You see this crystal mic? It's the type that comes with many rim drive reel-to-reels. Crystal. I have eyes of crystal. Let's wind this up more. You can't even see me wind it. Crystal.
Hello there.
I'm speaking into a classic rim drive style crystal in this recording. This is your host, John Richard Klein here, hoping you enjoying this recording on the Amplifier Corporation Amplicorp Magnemite Recorder Model 610DV vacuum tube AC bias from the 1950s, about 1952 or so, and oh man, I love this thing. This thing is a dream come true. Okay, this recorder is known for having personality. Alrighty, here we go again. I'm using a Ross crystal microphone. This little crystal microphone has very high output. The level is set all the way up. It picks up quite well, very well with this mic. I can speak at arm's length distance. It still does lots of deflection on the VU meter. Absolute beauty. Wow. So let's turn down that recording level a bit and speak up close. This is speaking into the Ross crystal microphone. Really, this recorder really does like high impedance. That is for sure. I also have a high impedance dynamic microphone, and we're going to try that next. Alright, so let's go ahead and stop now. Oh, but it doesn't want to stop, does it?
Here we go again.
I'm using an Akai microphone this time. It's missing the nice cover on it, but it's a cool mic, very high impedance. I think it was about like 45 kilo ohms or something crazy like that when I measured on an impedance meter, on an LCR meter. And if I set the level all the way up, it's just going to overdrive like crazy and sound very distorted. And it picks up very well when the level's set high, testing hello. So we'll set this back down again to a lower level. The level is set to 2, and I'm still getting a lot of deflection when I speak up close, just to show just how much this recorder likes high impedance microphones. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the video getting into a little bit of what I did troubleshooting, or maybe I'll put this part at the end, or maybe I'll put it at the beginning, who knows. But the whole idea is to synchronize, so you should be watching me here. Hi, Lo, I'm waving. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this stuff here. This machine is absolutely just great stuff, man. I absolutely love this machine. Anyway, I'm living life. Maybe we'll have a word from Maurice on here, huh?
All right, thank you, Cassette Master, for having me back in your studio. I like to think of it as both a studio and electronics museum, and so I'm delighted to be here this evening. And
so, what do you think about this recorder?
so this is the first time I see it, and it seems like it's from 1920. You know,
It's from around 1952 or so.
oh, 1952. Okay. Yeah, it seems like it was used in the military, but I could be wrong. You know, because I'm not very familiar with this kind of recorders.
It was used for radio, for interviewing people on the street.
Oh.
Radio, news, stuff like that.
Mhm. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I think it was a heavy equipment, you know, for journalists to to carry. But now they can just carry their iPhone
Yeah.
and they record people. But this is intriguing to me.
Oh, you're remembering Jacob, aren't you?
Yeah, we should invite Jacob back here.
Oh,
You know,
Miss Jacob.
yeah, it's very intriguing, to say the least.
Beautiful recorder.
Yeah.
Do you have any other words to say?
Well, I haven't been here in this studio for a long time. It seems like you're moving this equipment to the new studio, right?
Yeah, it's going to be setting up in another room.
So, do you think everything will be able to fit in the new studio room?
Oh,
or-
most everything.
Okay. And then this will remain a normal bedroom?
Yeah, this will probably be for Luke.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you. Do you have a transmitter?
I do.
And you are planning to start a radio station?
I might transmit from time to time.
Memories.
Resume. Keep talking.
Okay, now, okay. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties, and I don't like technical difficulties because they are inconvenient to our audience. But we are back to the show. And for all of you guys who are listening to us, eating dinner, driving back from work, or still at work, we wish you a good evening, and thank you for continuing to be with us. And our sponsor to our program are, of course, Professor Richard Grine himself. I myself, you know, I'm a legend. I'm a superstar. And so we sponsor ourselves, actually. That's why we are thanking ourselves, you know, for sponsoring this program. And you, our audience who are listening to us, you are the best because you are our sponsors too. And we really can do nothing without because
Oh, ran out of tape.
I see.
Wow.
Nice.
Pretty cool recorder, eh?
Yeah, it is.
This has been a Cassette Master production.